Okay guys, so I wanted to do an update video on my DNA results. The last one was pretty quick. I was very excited, nervous, pumped, all of the above, just to find out what I was made up of only. Had no idea that I was going to find the family that I ended up finding. It's very interesting, very crazy, and it all happened very fast. So here's a quick little video to get you caught up on me finding my biological father. So I got my results on Sunday, March 19th is when I received my results, and within 3 days, I believe, it's been a long week, but I believe that I found my biological father on Thursday. So 3 or 4 days, but with only 2 days after finding and talking to my third cousin, we were able to do this. It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to walk you guys through how I was able to come across it. But first I wanted to give you a rundown on my mother. She was adopted, put up for adoption whenever she was born. So she never knew her biological mother or father, and still doesn't know her biological father. She found her biological mother whenever I was about 10. She was about my age at the time. They came in contact. We got to know a few names and people and met each other a little bit, but the relationship didn't really last too long, and that's all that really came of it. So not only was my mother put up for adoption and we didn't really know much about her biological side, whenever I was 18, my mother told me that I was more than likely not who I considered my father's kid. She had had 2 boyfriends around the same time when she was 17, and when one came into town from Omaha, Nebraska on a construction trip, and when the business trip was over, he had headed back. And by the time he got back was when my mom got pregnant. It was before Facebook, cell phones, and all that good stuff. So my mom, not even knowing still at the time exactly who was the father, kept it with the guy who I called father until I was 18. And that's when she had told me. She said as I got older and older, I looked more and more like the other guy and not like Chuck. So she told me when I was 18, and she was fairly sure, but we still never knew 100% who exactly my father was. And by doing this, I have been able to narrow that down. Okay, so here's how I was able to narrow everything down. So I can view my DNA matches. And by knowing this was my mother's half-brother from her mom's biological side that we had met whenever they came into contact with each other. She is related to him. So we have a little 3-way of DNA triangle from my mother's side. Okay, I know my who I called my father for 18 years. I know his family pretty well, and I know that this name, and this name don't sound familiar. So I was pretty confident that that one of these people were going to be able to help me get in contact with my biological father. I messaged everyone here in hopes that someone could help me. The one message I got back was from Rim. I am now friends with him on Facebook, and within 2 days of speaking with him and only 3 days after getting my results, we were able to find my biological father. He is literally a wizard. He has never met Sean, doesn't know Sean very well. His side of the family doesn't even talk to that side of the family from what I've gathered very much at all. So the fact that we were able to do this is quite remarkable, especially as fast as we did. So then here are a few photos of my biological father. And not the best, but they're all I really have. And then here is my half-brother. So before I actually even had spoken with my biological father, I had gotten some pictures from Rim to go off of. And after showing quite a few people this photo and having their minds blown on how much that he and I looked alike, I knew before I even talked to him that it had to be him, let alone all the things that would have had to been coincidences for us not to be related. The deal was sealed before I even had talked to him. So that's really about it. I encourage anyone who hasn't done an ancestry test to do one, period. And especially if you have questions that are unanswered in your family. This is something I wasn't expecting to happen. It was something I was hoping to happen, but never really thought that it would, and didn't want to give my hopes up. I did this test solely to find out what I was made of, And after the jitters went away from finding that, I was able to calm down and look at my family, and then the roller coaster really began. You can find ungodly amounts of stuff. I encourage anyone to give it a shot. I hope you guys enjoyed this journey to find my father. It all happened so fast, so crazy. They're so open and welcoming to this whole thing. It's pretty neat, and I can't wait to see where it all goes from here. So thank you guys for watching the original video, and thank you for watching the follow-up.